So this project started with a question: what did the people grow during the period of time in the Renaissance? 6 UMass students and 6 Mount Holyoke students did a lot of research and looking at some of the old literature in the collection that's part of the Renaissance Center. They found out what was grown. We made a list of the plant materials that we'd like to put in the garden, and we're in the process now of designing that Renaissance garden and growing the plants for that Renaissance garden.
When people come to visit, they will have a real experience of what a sort of simple country house in the Renaissance might have had for gardens.
The goal of this project was to really identify what people were growing in the Renaissance, but also, more importantly, what the common person was growing. There were lots of different gardens in the backyard, whether it was a royal family or a common family. What we're creating here and what my research focused on was the pottage garden, which is also called the kitchen garden.
The commoners didn't eat that well. They had mostly bland foods, cabbages and kales, a lot of leafy greens, turnips and beets. Their proteins would have come from fava beans. They obviously had wheat, barley, and rye to make breads, and they had beer. So what they would grow in their own garden would be hops for the beer. They would grow all these vegetables for something they called pottage, which was basically a stew pot. And anything they had would be thrown into the pot.
It's worked well for both the Renaissance Center, but I think also for the Stockbridge School to have that kind of other component in terms of the kind of agriculture they're doing. And I think it's a real opportunity for students to sort of look at plants, not just current ones, but sort of historically.
Most of the herbs have not changed very much over the past 400 or 500 years. Carrots and turnips and kales, they have changed. So what we try to do is try to find varieties that would have been grown during that period of time. So 2 of the more interesting plants that we found are hops and strawberries. We were able to find plants that come from the 17th century in the USDA germplasm collection. We're having those plants sent to us. We can't get too much plant material because they're very rare, but we'll propagate those plants over the next several years, and those will go in the garden as well.
Looking at pictures of things doesn't really give you the sense of experiencing them in space. We're hoping this garden will take you back in time, and you will get that experience. What did it look like? What did it smell like? What was the feeling as you walked through the gardens? And we invite all members of the public to visit the Renaissance Center to explore and enjoy the gardens themselves.